Hey, yo, Richmond, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit, but keep moving forward. This is the Italian stallion. See the one I leave Philly and come to RVA. I always check out my man, Mike King Biz, on ESPN, 5-7 a.m. The champ of business talk radio. Emp, the man.
On the mic break, Mike King back. I'd like to thank my man, the champ, right there. We ain't calling any names because my legal department frowns upon that. So on the mic, Mike King here, part of the Mike King Biz Media Network, ESPN Richmond, CW Richmond as well. That's TV as well as International Business Group Radio. Saturdays, 10 a.m. in the East. You know what time it is? It's my partner, Lori Jennings. She's so cool. You know, she just goes by two initials. She's just LJ. You know, everybody.
I like it.
Everybody can't go, like, I can't be two initials. I'm just Mike, but then I became Mike King Biz, but it's just Mike. Lori Jennings is here. We always talk about women in tech, women in sales. Lori Jennings knows some cool people. So Lori Jennings, give us an idea. Tell folks who you are and what you do.
I'm Lori Jennings. I am the founder of Jennings Pro Search, which is an executive IT recruiting firm here in Richmond, Virginia. And I recruit senior technical to executive level people in IT, data, cybersecurity careers.
And we'd always say, cool people know cool people. So you were coming today and you had yesterday and you had everything lined up, and busy people were busy, they busy. Sometimes things don't work out and you needed to reschedule. So what happened? You go into the Rolodex and boom, you come up with a star.
Yeah.
On short notice.
Yeah.
There you go. So who'd you bring with you?
Emily Mercer. She's somebody that I met last year in the summer when she just started. She'd moved into the tech industry from real estate. And her boss's boss, I guess, had asked her to talk to me and about, some advice. So we got together and she really impressed me. And the last year she's been out there just stepping up. And when I called her late at night, I texted her and said, hey, can you fill in tomorrow, whatever with Mike King? She goes, I'll do it. Tell me what I need to do. So she's just, I want to have her here, tell her journey about how she got into tech in the sales.
All righty. So Emily Mercer, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I didn't know that I had seen and know you before because, shout out to RVA Tech Council. That's the official name.
Yep.
I went to the Women Who Drive event, big and flashy. It was sparkly. A lot of people there. Big stage, panel, interviewing Lori Jennings is up there among others.
And Emily was up there too.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
She was the one.
The moderator.
She was the moderator.
Yeah.
So you weren't in tech before.
No.
And here you are moderating a panel of tech giants. Okay, ma'am. Welcome to the program. Tell folks who you are and what you do. And we're going to move over into how you get to being in tech.
Okay, perfect. So I'm Emily Mercer. I am the sales director for Epon Technologies. They're a technology consulting firm in Scott's Addition. So I'm basically out there. I call myself more relationship manager, jumping into the RVA tech scene, as Lori kind of just said, just trying to get to know everybody in their business. What are the projects they're working on? And is there room for my company to collaborate? So that's kind of what I do now.
So what'd you do before?
I was a realtor for over 10 years in the Richmond area, just residential real estate.
So you're used to talking to people.
I love talking.
So you love talking to people. So you really didn't know tech, but like you said, relationships.
I know relationships.
And then how long is it before you're figuring, okay, I got this tech thing. Now, I know what they're talking about, but the idea of it is they're buying into Emily.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out the tech thing.
Like they got a bunch of people in the back.
Right. I feel so comfortable with my team, the knowledge. Like Lori said, I met Lori, I think maybe within the first month of jumping into this career. And she was so generous with her time. Like our CEO of the US literally was like, hey, Lori, will you do me this favor? And she came and sat down with me, not for like 15 minutes or half an hour. Lori sat down with me for an hour. And she was just like, hey, tell me who you are, and now tell me what you're working on and what do you see? And she just kind of said, hey, this is a great idea to get in front of this person or that person. And she kind of she helped me revamp my thinking that like, it's okay if you don't know everything that is technology, just be true to who you are, like, and the skills that you're good at, and it'll kind of fall into place.
So a lot of times people go from one career to one that's over here, just a little bit of one lane over. You did it. Here you go. You want to explain to our listeners what it means and how do you do that? Because that's sales realtor confidence right there. You know, that's not normal people's stuff. That's a person who goes up and just start talking. That's a sales aspect. Talk about that and why people need to do what they need to do to really be able to take that step.
So I was in real estate because it allowed me a lot of like flexibility to be like a single mom.
Okay.
And as my children were getting older, I was able to have more time during the day. Like preschool, that's not enough time to go to the grocery store. Once they're finally like in elementary school and going up, and now they're teenagers, and I was seeing that I could probably jump into something that had, for me, I really wanted like healthcare, something that was going to be a little more stable than what real estate was providing me with. And so I just kind of at the beginning was looking at, well, what do I want to do? What are my skills? What are the things that speak to me? And I knew I wanted to be around people. I knew that I wanted to help in some way. Those were the things that I liked about real estate. And I loved the challenge of learning something new every time a new deal came up. So
There you go.
yeah, okay. So basically, I stuck to the things that I liked with the challenges, and then I looked out there. The employment pool is endless. There were so many opportunities. I didn't know where I was going to land. It happened that I didn't actually land at EPON, where I am now first. I ended up at a different company reselling technology licenses, like for like Oracle licenses.
Okay.
And that just wasn't a great fit for me. And I was able to kind of revamp and realize I wasn't in the personable part of sales that I liked. This was more mathematical. How many licenses do you need? It was like a formula. Whereas in real estate, I really love meeting the buyers and sellers. Their needs were always different. Every time we closed a deal, they were going to be happy, and I was going to add some kind of new knowledge to my real estate arsenal. It is the same thing with what I do now. I'm meeting a new company, their technology needs are different, and I'm learning a piece of technology that I didn't know existed. So in my job search, I learned the things about my personality that I didn't even know that like I needed to feel satisfied and like be good in your career. Because when you're happy, you'll be more successful.
So that's more the mom aspect. When you were
Exactly.
more than the technical part, which is, you know, how many licenses you're talking about dealing. So this is sort of off the track well,
You've never
Shock.
done that, Mike.
shocking. I'm going off the track. I was an only kid, and I didn't know that you parent kids different because I was an only kid for 14 years. I didn't. So my wife was one of 8. I didn't know that, you know, you parent this one this way. I just thought it was chop. Well, maybe that's because I came from that time, which is, you know, with the crack, which was I did what my father thought for fear of what would happen. But a lot of times when you're talking about I needed flexibility, that's why I went into real estate. That's why I went into sales. And then you're able to take that. When you go to the other thing, it's like, that's not it. So you go from real estate sales relationships to technology, still in the relationship business. All right, Lori. So why is it that you step up and help people the way that you do?
Well, her CEO he's helped me. You know, we've known each other a long time. We've had a great relationship. And I think that's the importance of building relationships. So when he had a new salesperson who was entering the industry, he asked me to do it. There's nothing I wouldn't do for Roman. You know, I wouldn't necessarily do that for everybody. I try, but I only have so much time. So again, it's the importance of building relationships.
And you are in a relationship business.
I'm in a relationship
You know
business.
some
I'm a
people.
recruiter. That's what I do. And, you know, and I wanted to have Emily tell her story because there may be other people out there right now that thinking, I just don't really like, it's not, you know, I'm in a position, or maybe you've lost your job recently and you're thinking, I want to change. And it may not be tech you want to change into, but whatever you want to do. And I was somebody who moved from the textile industry when it was dying in the 90s after NAFTA, was outsourcing all the jobs overseas. So I saw technology as an exciting career opportunity and I moved in. And it can feel daunting at the time, but it's worth it. And You just got to get out there and utilize and transfer those skills. I was a salesperson. Emily was a salesperson. We're all about relationship building, and we figured out we had to learn the tech, and it can be uncomfortable, but I just want to let everybody share that story in case you're thinking, and then also share that, hey, we're all in sales. You may not have that title, but we're all salespeople. And if you're one of the unfortunate ones right now that are out there who lost their jobs, and I'm sorry if you have, I've been there several times, then you're a salesperson. You got to put that sales hat on and utilize a lot of the same skills that we do in our job to find new jobs, because there's a shortage of jobs right now compared to all the people. I don't care in technology, at least, you got to be on your game. You got to have a sales plan. You got to have quality over quantity and do the research and ask the hard questions and network and all of those things to get this job. And that's kind of why we're here today, to share about sales and how you can transfer those skills if you're looking for a job.
So we talked about losing jobs, situations that are like that. When we talked before we came on camera, McDonald's is laying people. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what time it is when, and maybe because all the kids are going to Chick-fil-A as high as they are, because with my grandkids, I'm like, man, why don't we just go to a restaurant high as Chick-fil-A is? But when you start looking at that level, that they're looking at cost, pinching pennies, you got to be on your game to get that next job. And no matter what it is, no matter what you're doing, so ladies are coming up next. We're talking about a situation where we got to get the word out to people to let people know. I don't care what. If you think that and before everyone wasn't a brand, a business was a brand. Like, who do you think you are? Everybody's your own brand now. If you're not screaming about your thing,
yeah,
somebody's screaming about theirs and letting people know. Like realtors are over the top. Ain't no way I'm riding with my picture on my car. Like, call me. No. Or on every card. Here's my card. Oh, I know what you do. Is there another profession who's over the top like that with their pictures on?
I think some of those lawyers that kind of the ambulance chasers, they're on the park benches, they're on the buses when they go by, they're on the train,
Yeah, they are.
So Mike, I was a cartoon when I started in real estate. My dad was ahead of me, and he was a big marketing guru, and my maiden name was Wolf. And so the whole thing was he turned us into cartoons, and it's okay to cry wolf. And so
hey, you know what?
like,
that is a good one.
It was cool.
You're crying wolf.
I kept that sign.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Here, wait. Now, see, when you say you come in here with that.
Well, you know who I am. Make sure you check out my man, Mike King Biz. His program, On the Mic with Mike Orvier, business-ish radio program in Orvier. King Biz Radio can be heard on ESPN Richmond 106.1 and The Choice 105.
When you talk about letting people know, if you're not telling people that your dad, did you take that after him automatically, or did you kind of grow into? Because you kind of got to learn how to grow. You either over the top or you kind of.
Yeah, I think my mother is a kindergarten teacher, so the creative over the top is like just.
Your house,
I wasn't going to avoid it.
Yeah, your house was off the hook,
yeah.
And my house wasn't, and so I think I would have been a creative, but my dad, he just sucked. He was that guy, and that's what I learned. How he didn't know how to do anything. Except, well, one, he had been an orphan besides getting enough for himself to eat and letting me know everything that he gave me. So like, why you mad at me? Because you didn't give me. Well, I got to teach you this thing. But he knew the value of knowing a person. If being a realtor, you go down, a bunch of people. Laura, a ton of people. Talk about the value of that. And then when you realize, like, you turn into your dad with this whole marketing thing.
So I think the value of just knowing people and really listening to them. You can know a lot of people without knowing a lot of people. Yeah. And I think even in real estate, it can be a really cutthroat industry, and we're all kind of going after the same clients. Same thing kind of I've learned in the Richmond tech scene. It's not really a big pool. So we're all kind of, but like, there are people who will lift you up. So get to know people with an open mind, get to, like you said, cool people attract cool people, find your people. They're going to lift you up. They're going to help you. You don't have to go after them sales. If you go after them, hey, what's going on with Lori? Lori's going to get to know me and she's going to say, oh, hey, Emily, this popped up. Do you guys do this? Because it's the way you build your relationships.
It is something about building a crew. There is safety in numbers. I don't care what anybody says. I was the one, only kid with bunk beds. For just if the possibility they could stay, Mom, can they stay? Because that's the way it is. And that's why when you seen the craziness in the studio, it's not people are coming in here. People are talking serious stuff. People are talking. There's a lady, Anahita, she escaped from Afghanistan, 5 kids, and she is pregnant. She's like, yo, and I'm gonna get through the gate. When we saw all those people trying to get on the airplanes, she was one of them. So shout out to Bell Tower Pictures, because they're doing a documentary on her. People are using the platform. That's what we're talking about, using the platform of women in business, women in tech, and women in sales. Like I said, the first time I see you, I didn't know who you were, but you're sitting up there moderating a panel on all these women in sales, and you're like, yo, did they give you a list of questions?
They had to help me. So
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't even know what they're talking about.
I had been in technology less than 3 months, and I joined this committee thinking I would help set up chairs or like man a booth in the beginning and be like, hi, welcome. But I participated.
See that you made a mistake when you start volunteering, see.
And I spoke up in the meetings and had an opinion, and our chair called me kind of last minute, probably. It was maybe like a week before the conference, and was like, hey, we're turning this into a panel. We need a moderator. I thought because, you talk in the meetings, you'd be able to do this. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. I'll try it. I'll do it. And Lori and the other group of recruiters, they got together and they helped, and we prepped, and it was great.
Alrighty, really quickly, when did you know you went over to technology? When you had something there? That
I think when I got on that stage that first time, they put me up there in a field that I was completely new to, and when it was a successful panel. It built more relationships. It was more, oh, hey, I saw you up there. Awesome. Hey, I'm Emily. What do you do? And it just, the way that I was able to communicate was comfortable. And so I think then I knew I was in the right place.
it's funny when people see you a certain way, then all of a sudden, a lot of times it makes you like, oh yeah, okay, you were in a successful panel. So on the Mike King here, Lori Jennings, Emily is with us as well. How can people find you out there? Really quickly, give a sales pitch for what your company does.
Okay, so EPON is a technology consulting company in Scott's Edition. Basically, we can take your IT dreams and make them come true. We can help modernize your data, build apps. We have product practice, data, cloud DevOps, and software engineering. And I'm the person who you get to just meet with and establish the relationship to see who the team is that we need to bring in and help you. You can find EPON on LinkedIn, EPON Technologies.
Spell that because it's not.
Yep.
Yeah.
IPPON. And you can find me also on LinkedIn, Emily Mercer. So.
Emily Mercer doing big things. See, now it's cool. Now you meet people on LinkedIn. Now I get to meet you and be like, oh, that's cool.
Connect with you.
All righty, Lori Jennings, really quickly. So folks, a person's just lost their job. They're having a tough way to go. What should they do?
Well, first of all, I talked about this before. You need to, if you're in a professional career, you need to optimize that LinkedIn profile. That is where we live and breathe. And that is where we're going. If you submit our resume, we're going to your LinkedIn profile. So have a professional picture, have it filled out with the details, be active. I mean, people like Emily that are now, she's going to have on her LinkedIn profile pictures of this. She's going to have this, maybe a clip of a video. These are the kind of things we're looking for because it's a competitive market right now. So you got to stand out. We want to see people that are curious. We want to see people that are active, that are trying to learn, that are networking, those type of things. So I would say do that and also get a sales plan, right? I see too many people out there right now. They're going for quantity versus quality. They're applying to everything, hoping thumbs and sales.
I'm desperate. I got,
and it shows, right? And instead of doing that, because you're not going to get those jobs, it is so competitive. Maybe in the last couple of years, you could do a stretch because we were at a shortage. We were hiring people that didn't necessarily have the skill sets and training them. People are cutting costs. If they're hiring right now, they're looking for the best candidate that has the skills that match. They don't want to train you. They don't have the money. They want you to get going and start. So you got to really be picky. Look at companies, have a sales plan. What are the top 10 companies? Look and see what their jobs are. Look and see if you know anybody that works there on LinkedIn. Do the research so that when you get those interviews, you're prepared, you can get in there and really shine versus I see this all the time. People spray and pray for everything. And when I get them on the phone and I interview them, I go, well, what is it you like about this job? And they don't even know the job they applied to because they've applied to so many. They don't know anything about the company. They haven't done any research. You're not getting hired. You're not getting past me if that's the case. So quantity does not necessarily work. But if you get on there and you've done research, even if you're maybe not the best skill set and you have good questions and you're curious, I'm going to want to help you. I'm going to want to put you in front of my client. And there's a possibility. So that's some of the recommendations.
There you go. Emily is here, Lori is here. On the mic, Mike. One last time, how can people find you?
People can find me, best place on LinkedIn. You can find ePod Technologies, IPPON Technologies USA, or Emily Mercer.
Lori Jennings?
Lori Jennings. You can find me on LinkedIn. It's Lori Jennings with a J. Or my website is www.jenningsprosearch.com.
Lori Jennings, she's so good. This is the music that plays. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for joining on the mic with Mike King here. This is the best business radio. It's business-ish. It's not really business because well,
It's networking. It's
it
business.
is because I kind of have some problems keeping things between the lines. I get talked to every morning from my wife, like, Mike, don't be out there acting a fool. Okay, so here I'm talking to people. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you take care and support our sponsors and advertisers like Lori Jennings, because two things: the microphone ain't free. Plus, my grandkids need stuff. So we'll talk to you soon on the mic with Mike. We got to go. See you.